YouTube. Sorry if I'm a bit sweaty, out of breath, and this might be a little bit late. I'm kind of running a bit fine about being able to get this uploaded for 7 o'clock, but it might. Oh, fingers crossed, YouTube's on the ball. So, a Chapman guitar. Yeah, we all know about Chapman. So I've never actually played one before. This is an ML2, which I think is one of the sort of I imagine this is one of their sort of standardy models, where you get I think you can get these in various amounts of made in Korea. This one, you can get this guitar at various levels. I think there was a lot of time when they were making them in England somewhere, like for thousands of pounds, obviously. But you know, this rough design. So it's kind of a Les Paul Junior, maybe. Kind of a wee bit of golden about it, I think. It's got a weirdly carved top. It is carved, but sort of only slightly beveled. Through strung, maybe that's just making me think of the golden. It's like that. It's through strung through the back. We've got a 3-way selector, 2 volumes and a tone. The tone is a push-pull pot, so it splits the pickups. I think these pickups are, well, they'll just be stock ones. I think they're their own make, with no pickups around, which I'm still not convinced I really like the no pickups around thing. I know quite a lot of expensive guitars do that, but I don't know, it's something kind of unfinished looking about it to me. So this will be a mahogany body. I don't know much about wood, but I'm pretty sure that's mahogany. There's no obvious joins in it. I don't imagine it's one piece. No, there's a join there. 1, 2, I think that's 3. Maybe a 3-piece mahogany, something like that, with a sort of satin thin skin finish. It's actually quite dusty. Yeah. Yeah. So up at the top we've got Grover tuners. I think they might be called mini Grover tuners. And as you can see, 3-piece neck. Very, very Matsumoku is that. This funny neck joint. I don't know if I've ever actually seen a set neck where it's like they're not the same colour. So I don't know how they set it in. They must have set it in after they painted it, or after they'd stained the body. I don't know how it works. And it's got like these scoops here, and it's got this scoop in the front, which I remember seeing, which quite a lot of the Chapman guitars have. And the video, I remember watching a video when they were doing we bought our very first guitars, him and Captain Lee, and it was a Yamaha RGX he had, which had this on it, and as soon as he saw it, he was like, up here, oh look, there's that, I wonder where I got that. So he kind of said, maybe borrowed that idea off Yamaha, which is fair enough. Whether it doesn't hinder you. Yes, I mean, it's like how much easier it makes to reach the last fret is. It doesn't hinder. It doesn't make it harder to reach the top fret. It's more of a styling thing, I think, than anything else. I actually haven't looked to see if this is Gibson scale. It's a very Gibson-y type neck carve on it. 25.5 Fender scale. See, it's kind of. This guitar is very much reminding me of an Aria PE prototype, which I'm sure Chapman's seen before. It's also got the volute on the back of the neck. You know, all good design decisions, but actually I dug out my Aria PE prototype. So, okay, this is a bit older, but the neck join is not a million miles away. This is also 25.5 inch scale. It doesn't have 24 frets though, and it's also got the 3-piece neck on it. This one's from 1978, I think. So it's kind of, this in general was Aria's meant to be the ultimate guitar, and they were going to make all guitars like this. And to be fair to them, they still do make them. This is 1978, I think. 08. I think that's so same age as me, basically. No, it's not exactly the same, but you know, there's definitely. There's similarities in there. Which is, as soon as I saw the 3-piece neck, I thought, oh. And then I saw that neck joint, I thought, and if you ever look on the back of, see the original Aria Pros, sorry, the Aria Pro 2s, not just Aria Pro, it's the Aria Pro. There's a legend on it that says, like on the expensive ones, it says designed and improved by H. Noble, original custom body parts number, patent number 555719, a product of Matsumoto. That patent number is for this neck join. That patent number is also on lots of guitars, including my through neck PB, which has got a patent for this neck join. I think that actually the patent's got 2 bolts on it, on the back as well, so it's not even this exact neck join. They just use the same legend on lots of different guitars. So there's, I can't remember which one it is that's got the bolts on the back. This one doesn't. It's a sort of set neck, but it's a, you know, sort of similar. Do they call it a set? I think they might even call this a set through, because the neck kind of comes in. Maybe not. I don't know. I think they do. Chapman do and a set through, which is kind of the neck kind of comes in here somewhere. It doesn't go all the way through, but it kind of comes in a bit. And also, I should say the volute at the back of the neck as well. You can't see if I put it in front of a t-shirt. You can probably see it. The volute, the old. Let's have it so that the neck doesn't snap. The headstock doesn't snap when you drop it. Which obviously you can't do in a Gibson, because if you do that in a Gibson, people complain that the original Gibsons didn't have I want a Gibson. The neck, when I drop it, the headstock comes off. I don't want to be strengthened at the weakest point. No, that's not vintage correct. To be honest, because it's 3 pieces of wood anyway, so the wood on the outside 2 bits, the grain will be going that way, and then in the middle bit will be going that way, so they'll be fighting against each other, so it'll be much stronger than a full-on mahogany neck anyway, to start with. Yeah, so playing through my new Carlton amp, no pedals on at the moment, bit of reverb on. Go for single coily mode. The width of the fretboard and the general feel of it's very similar to my Gibson SG. I'm not saying they've copied that, but they've copied that pretty much. So it's kind of that. It's weird. I wasn't expecting it to be 25.5-inch scale, so that's a kind of weird one. Which makes it not the Les Paul Junior that it kind of, as soon as I saw it, I thought, oh, it's like a Les Paul Junior, but it's kind of, I still think it's like the Aria PE, basically, like a modern version of it. I do like the headstock though. They've kind of, well, they've kept the old Gibson idea about having these 2 tuners away out here, so that when the string goes through the nut, it goes at a crazy angle, so it doesn't stay in tune. That's a good move, but looks wise, that's great. See, if they put that sort of headstock on Epiphones, people would like them much more, because the Epiphone headstock's a bit of a minger. It's like this is a bit close. It doesn't have the open book thing, but the outside is very similar. I'd imagine that's a plastic nut, but it's a sort of beige nut. It's got a wee bit of chips and damage on it, but I think that's kind of part and parcel with these satin finished guitars. You know, obviously something like the PE's got the inch thick poly finish on it, so this is actually antique. This is the first ever relic guitar, because it's antique violin finish. Possibly it's either antique violin or brown, were the 2 options at this guitar, or black, but I think it's either brown or antique violin. I'm going to say it's antique violin. I'll do a video of that actually soon. I need to dig that one out anyway. It's a criminally underplayed guitar. Good. This sounds great, single coily. That's one of my favourite sounds, which is always my go-to. One of my favourite layouts for a guitar is a couple of humbuckers with just the one push-pull splot, push-pull pot for splitting both of them. I don't need the 2 volumes, but I mean you can mix between them. I just think that gives you, and when you've got both pickups on and they're both splits, like just there is something to be said for, you know, having the two of the volume controls push-pull, so you can split. So you can have like the bridge as a humbucker and the neck as a single coil and blah blah blah, which I do like in my Schecter Telly, but I'm quite happy just with the one switch. If I was making the guitar myself, I would just put one in, I think. So I might actually just stick a wee bit of a track in the back. Why there's no sound coming out? I'm going to have to take that loop pedal to bits. It's definitely sorted out. Not right. Next single. I'll go for this is my pal Ian's. So he's given me a Joyo pedal. So this is his pedal and his guitar. Humbucker. Maybe try and bring the action in a little bit. This is quite high. Bridge humbucker. Rat pedal, I think. Never play the 24th fret because so few of my guitars have it. Sorry, not the 24th, it'd be infinity plus 12. Pickups. Single coil, both pickups. Bridge pickup, single coil. actually really quick. 2 volume controls. Actually, I didn't think I was going to like this, but actually it's really good. I'm not 100% sold on the styling. It doesn't look particularly inspiring to me, but it plays really good. I do need to bring the action in a little bit. So yeah, maybe do a wee bit off the truss rod, maybe lower it down a little bit. But there's a few things on it which kind of, one of those simple is maybe better. Not very much tone plastic on it, and it's got like because the satin finish, even though it's not my favourite type of finish, I think it maybe makes it a little bit more breathy and eerie. Airy. Also, the pickups are screwed hard onto the body rather than being mounted on springs. That might make a bit of a difference. Fingerboard is, I'd be tempted to say that was ebony actually. It might be. I should probably look this number up. Was it W13? I think that means 2013. I think W is world music. I seem to remember that being mentioned in one of Chapman's videos. Yeah, no, this is a good guitar. I would have no problem gigging something like this. Brown maybe not my thing, but that's just going into playing one. It's very comfortable playing it. Good frets on it. This wasn't new. This is it's 2013. I think my pal just bought it. So I mean, obviously the things like the setup, with the action stuff, you don't know who's been in at it, and even if it was set up perfectly when it was bought 9 years ago, wood moves, things move. So it's like the fact that the necks now, it just needs a little bit more of a pull back on it. It has been 10 years or 9 years of strings pulling on the wood. Even the best guitars in the world, if you do that, you can't buy it set up 10 years and then just expect it to still be set up in 10 years time, especially for brand new wood moves. Yeah, no, I mean, to be honest, I've never really even looked up much of these. I know Chapman or Lee Anderton. I don't really watch Chapman's videos himself, but when he used to be on with Lee Anderton, I used to watch it, and Lee Anderton was always a bit kind of not wanting to do these videos because he owns part of the company, or he's got big shares in it, or helped him out to start it, I think. So he's always kind of, I don't want to do videos on those guitars because everyone will just think I'm being biased if I say they're good, so they kind of don't do that, which is fair enough. I mean, but it's good. I don't know what the price of this would be, but I think, did Chapman not do a thing where they were kind of doing a missing out the middleman type deal? So you were buying it not directly from the factory, but kind of. So it's like they were just kind of, they didn't have Fender or Gibson or Epiphone or whatever company it was taking 30% immediately with the distributors and stuff. I think there was issues with that, so they just were cheaper. And although this might be a relatively cheap guitar, they didn't spend bits on, they didn't spend the relative money. I mean, I'm getting, what, 250 quid, 300 quid, something like that, maybe, I don't know. It's probably quite offensive if it's actually a £700 guitar. But it doesn't have fancy stuff that it doesn't need. It's basically just block of wood. I suppose even look at it, something like pickup rings, they must cost something, and you've got to pay somebody to fit them and stuff like that. So that it probably only saves a fiver or something like that, but it saves money. And maybe, I dare say, is it cheaper to get to have the through stringing thing? Or is that part of the sound? Is the fact that this string through body, does that help the wood vibrate? The tone, is that doing that? Doesn't hurt. Whether it does, I don't know. You might need an oscilloscope and stuff like that to actually tell. I do have an oscilloscope. You need to have an oscilloscope and know how it works. I don't know how it works. I just twiddled with the knobs until it made dancing patterns when I plugged the guitar into it. But no, it's quite good, and decent tuners as well. I assume they're original. I don't know. There's no indication that they are or aren't really. Just people complaining before about them not being particularly straight. They're not 100% straight, but so. I mean, obviously it doesn't make any difference to how it functions. If it's sitting, like a couple of degrees off being level, which these ones are a little bit like that, but so. you know, the neck join is good. I wonder if it is actually bolt on. It can't be from the outside. But it's interesting. An interesting guitar. My P's got a wee bit to live up to be honest. If I'm going to try and do it. This has got a bridge, an H Noble bridge, which isn't a great design. It's kind of sits at a funny angle, which I don't like. And the volume knobs at old areas sometimes dead stiff. Which these are things I could easily change, but it's like, you've got to keep it original. It's worth money. These aren't the original knobs. It's just like, like something like a stiff volume control can just put you off playing a guitar. Just because you go, it's not pure stupid stuff, but it's not, like a, it's kind of not the best thing. Mind you, it's same age as me. I'm stiff. Yeah, so to be honest, yes, it does go on my recommendation list. I will be looking out for Chapman's now to do this. But I think maybe one of my problems is it's just a little bit new for me to pick up for 50 quid second hand to turn into a Buckycaster. You're not really going to get Chapman's like that, I don't think, that are that beat up or bits really that broken, because I don't know how old. I mean, 13 have probably only been going on for like what, 10, 12 years, something like that. So you're which used to be my brand new guitar until I got my FGN, which is 2019, and it's like pure second hand, and it's actually now 2 years old, but that's still got the sticker on it. That's brand spanking new. I still have a tendency to think that anything I kind of remember coming out, a class as being new. So I mean, it's halfway to being vintage. I don't think you could really argue 10 years is new. Really. Maybe a new whiskey. Or very, very, very old cheese. Chapman ML2. Approved, to be honest. Maybe a bit trendy for me. A bit too cool. But it's not. It's not like some pure ridiculous shape from the 80s that nobody knows about. No, it's not. So maybe that's kind of my original way of going for these. I was actually talking to Blacktooth Fox earlier on. That looks like there's a big red record button in the middle of the screen, but it's actually the bottom of his cup of tea that he's drinking. I think he's just bought a Conrad guitar, which I've never even heard of. It's an old Japanese one, so maybe he'll catch the bug. The Japanese guitar bug, which I've just kind of got. I'm kind of looking at it as almost like a quality assurance thing. I kind of know that if I'm buying a guitar that's from sort of late 70s to mid 80s and it's made in Japan, it's kind of going to be really good. So I can maybe venture out a little bit more and buy things that are maybe a bit knackered. Like ones that don't have strings, or they've got a bridge missing, or they're dirty and no one's played it for 20 years sort of thing, but I know that the quality's there to fix up, whereas you can with other ones I'm not really that sure about. I would put Chapman into, assuming this isn't one of the really expensive ones, I would put them into the category of you're not really going to get a shit one, or you can get one with bits missing that's been broken, like you can with any guitar, but with a setup and a little bit of work you will end up with something good. I mean, the 3-piece neck, it's like, and probably an ebony fingerboard, a little bit dirty. The pickups are good as well. They're sounding really good with a solid state amp, which to be honest I've not really been playing humbuckers through it. It's just the solid state seems to sound really good and glassy for single coils. But again, even when you knock it into singles, it's got that pring, smashing. Enough jibber jabber. Yeah. Oh, knackered. So I got my wheels back. So tomorrow's video is going to be a time lapse video of me walking 4 miles along an old railway line, and I think I might. I think the audio on it's knackered, so I think I might do the box in box thing. So I'll maybe have the video playing on the big screen, and then have me in a wee corner down. Was it normally down there, isn't it? And I'll maybe just play some walking along an old railway line and talking shit music. See you tomorrow, and